series of tapes on the Filipino martial arts. The Filipino martial arts basically is a weapon-based system, but it does have empty hand skill. More than likely, more people are confused because they feel that the Filipino martial arts, such as calling and Escrima and it's a stick weapon only. But basically, from the stick, you learn the sword, you learn the double stick, you learn the double sword system, you learn the long and short stick, you learn the sword and dagger system, you learn the single dagger system, you learn the double dagger system. It has flexible weapons included, it has projectile weapons. You have weapons that you shoot or throw from various different gadgetry. I believe it's a very well-rounded system, and it's one of the first systems that were ever brought into the United States. And many of the men of John Lafitte that fought in the Battle of New Orleans in 1815 were Filipino. And so this art has been in the United States, but it's just never been introduced to the public. At this time, I hope that the series of films that you'll be seeing today will enhance your growth in the Filipino martial arts. For I feel it will help not only your skill in the Filipino martial art itself, but in whatever system or style that you're in training in right now. Thank you very much. Rather than teach you a numbering system, because every style in the Filipino martial art has a different numbering system, I'm just going to teach you basic angles. We have basically a diagonal blow on the forehand side and a diagonal blow on the backhand side. It forms what we refer to as a downward figure eight. Regardless of the weapon you use, you have a downward figure eight. Okay? You then have an upward figure eight. Notice it's going diagonal. This is the upward figure eight. Okay? You then have the horizontal blows that travel horizontal. Okay? You have the blows that travel horizontal high. You can travel the horizontal blow low if you wish. Okay? You have a vertical blow which strikes this way, one that comes completely through, others that whip through, others that snap. Okay? So basically all strokes, whether you pull through, have a tick, or you can even have a double on this side. This is what they call floretti. Okay? The interchangeable, because whether you pick up the weapon, you still have a downward figure eight. This is the crisp. I'm going to go slow so that you can see the motion. This is the downward figure eight with the crisp. You have the upward figure eight with the crisp. Okay? You have the high horizontal. You have the middle horizontal. If you're down on your knee, you have the low horizontal. Okay? You can go from slash to thrust. Slash to thrust. Slash to thrust. Slash to thrust. So basically, this weapon either slashes or thrusts. It can chop or it can pull through all the way through. Okay? Again, let's review this. There are three ranges. The first range, we hit the limb when we get out of range of the weapon. At angle 2, we're out of range of the weapon, and we hit the limb of the body. Okay? Again, we hit the limb. Number 4, we hit the limb. And number 5, hitting the limb. Okay? At middle range again, second range is we can monitor the hand. This is usually where disarms can occur. Okay? But the main point in the middle range is that we can monitor the hand or we can touch the hand. At angle 2, again, the main thing is that we can touch the hand. At close quarter is that the puño can reach. And this is close quarter fighting. This is, of course, where all the chokes and the strangles and the foot sweeps and the throws will occur. So again, there are three ranges: long range, middle range, and close quarter. Volley is double stick fighting. It can be double swords or double axe or two equaling weapons. Okay? At this point, these are drills. They are not the fighting combination. You strike inward, you go low backhand, high backhand. You go inward, low backhand, high backhand. Inward, low backhand, high backhand. Inward, low backhand, high backhand. Notice when I go inward, low backhand, high backhand, this is chambered over here. You go inward, low backhand, high backhand. Inward, low backhand, high backhand. This is what we refer to as a abecedario 6 count, because there are 6 counts to the exercise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In reality, he hits my hand. 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 He'll hit my hand. Okay, going into the next exercise, we refer to this as Heaven 6.
Heaven 6 is the right hand is chambered below. I'll do it in front of the camera very slow. You make an inward strike, and automatically after you hit the inward strike, you cock it back or chamber it back. You make a left backhand, and then you pull it back and you make a right backhand. And then you make an inward and you chamber it underneath your armpit, put it immediately to the opposite shoulder, make a right backhand, and make a left backhand. I'm going to do it one more time very slowly. Inward. Notice when I'm going to make an inward that I chamber the stick underneath my armpit, and then immediately cock it back into my opposite shoulder. Make a left backhand, and then make a right backhand. Inward. Notice that it's chambered underneath your armpit. I chamber it to the opposite shoulder. You make a right backhand, left backhand. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or inward, high backhand, high backhand. 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 Notice that I'm doing it stationary. Later on, you're going to do it with various different types of footwork. Let's say the jet is a tree. And if you have no partner, use a tree like this. You'll start off slow. Inward, high backhand, high backhand. Inward, high backhand, high backhand. Until you get the flow like this. Slowly, 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 gradually picking up the speed until you can monitor the motion or the speed of the motion in any way. Then you start to use footwork like this, okay? Now when you do it with a partner, you have it strong, we'll go slow. Inward, high backhand, high backhand. 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 In reality, he hits my hand. 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 This is known as the Heaven 6. Now we have the next combination, or the third beginning combination. We call it Standard 6, or Heaven and Earth 6. It is just like the Heaven 6, but you make an inward, and you chamber this underneath. You cock it to the opposite shoulder. You go low backhand, then you go high backhand. Then you make an inward. You chamber it back to the opposite shoulder. You go low backhand, then high backhand. Inward. You chamber it back to the opposite shoulder. You go low backhand, high backhand. Inward. Chamber to the opposite shoulder. Low backhand, high backhand. So he goes 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Inward, low backhand, high backhand. Inward, low backhand, high backhand. Inward, low backhand, high backhand. Again, if you have nobody to work out with, you usually get a tree about this way. And you'll strike the tree. Inward, low backhand, high backhand. 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, when you do it for the partner, we'll go very slow first. Inward, low backhand, high backhand. 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actual combat, you try to hit the hand here. We try to hit the hand here. We try to hit the hand here. We hit the hand here. We hit the hand here. And we hit the hand here. These are the first 3 basic exercises I like to train my classes in. Filipino martial arts of Kali and Escrima both have and employ hand skill. Sometimes the motion is taken from double stick, sometimes it's taken from single stick, and sometimes it's taken from the dagger. And then, if I hold a dagger like this, and a man with a punch, you take it back here and you end it over here. That same motion of slashing here and going here, when application in slow motion, that's the elbow technique. You can be the knee. Again. Okay, let's slow this down. Notice this is a cut here. Eye poke here, the trap over here, the thrust, the elbow, the hook, and the elbow again, if you use it. Now, if you don't have a weapon, then it is used like this. See, slow motion, elbow, knee, and elbow and knee again. See? Now, a lot of times the knife is employed this way, and sometimes it could be in a left stance. See? Notice where the hit would be automatically, or the hit would be like this automatically. So if that would come in again, you would strike again. Okay? Or the hit could be here, and the shot could be here, and be employed here. The same principle is being used if the left hand is hit. Notice where we're hitting. The hit over here is on the brachial nerve or on the ulnar nerve. Okay? Paralyzing the arm. The hit again, automatically the hit would come, the strike would be here. Following up with the same technique. You can go into any technique. There's many variations. Slow motion again. That would be 1. It could be this way. 2. Hit. 3. Elbow. And hit again. Or it could be this way. Hit. Up this way. Hit. Over. Notice that all the motions are following from the motion of the dagger. I'm going to break it down into the basic system. The basic system I'm showing you right now is from a man who was taught to me by the name of Johnny LaCosta, Master Johnny LaCosta. He taught me the first motion we use is what we refer to as the gunting. So if the lead hand is thrown, we hit and we go in. The first technique, the gunting, and go straight in. Okay? From here, any type of throw, punch can be delivered, or elbow can be delivered. Notice there's a lot of elbow in collie and a lot of knee because of the vicinity of the opponent. Also, we can go out. Notice that the first one I went gunting and went thrusting. This one I move out. I'll notice that it's always in conjunction. It always squares the hand here and checks it automatically as the hit will come here. Automatically elbow and elbow again. Okay. So the basic premise on this is the gunting that stays in and the gunting that comes out. Okay. When the gunting comes out, this finger jab is here. It also will monitor the rear hand again and strike again, elbow. Notice that all the close quarter hits are being employed at the same time. The basics of the gunting. Okay. Then we have what is called the horizontal gunting. Notice that it's already into the eyeball, but for training purposes, we put it here. It already monitors that motion of the shot where you can strike over here and the elbow be here automatically. He's in the position here where I can come down with my finishing touch of the elbow. Okay? Slow motion again. The vertical gunting. The strike. Notice how it monitors the rear hand automatically in the close vicinity. You can strike in any motion. Okay? When you learn the technique on the left stance, it must be learned on the right stance to come out. Okay? I'm going to give you little basics here that you can maybe practice at home. The vertical gunting, depending on the range of the distance. If you're in tight where they like to be, notice where the finger jab would be. This is what we refer to the vertical gunting, followed by the sungab. The sungab is done with the right hand. The vertical gunting, the sungab is done with the left hand. Repeat it again. See, notice over here, the finger jab is here with the right hand. This time, it's with the left hand. Okay? Repeat one more time. 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay? Now notice that with the next weapon, we choose to employ the elbow. The elbow is delivered here. Okay? It is going up into the brachial nerve. Automatically, this can be the throw. You can take it all the way down to locking position if you so desire. See? Notice where the hand is? It's all in line here. Okay? So the position over here, any throw can be used. But right now I'm showing you where the tools are being hit. Notice how we program, because the other fist has to either come on that side, and when it comes on that side, the shot is already delivered here. He's already trapped. See, I won't go into takedown, but just show you the root motion where the shots are coming from. See? That the punch has to come through that sector, which is hit and hit. Okay? Again, when we strike again going upward here, notice where the hand, the elbow can hit to the bicep, you can hit to the deltoid, you can hit to the sternum, you can hit to the throat, you can hit to the mandible. All these are in relationship. Notice how I swing away and I'm zoned away from that rear punch, and in the event it would come up. Okay? And in. All here, all the trapping are employed here by takedowns from this angle also. Okay? I have to repeat it again. So for review now, we have the right finger jab. We have the left finger jab. You have the right sickle, or the right elbow. Okay? Notice how I'm covered in case that punch were to come. See? Automatically zoned over here into the position where I can elbow with this hand and come down with another elbow. Okay? so that you have repeat again, the left elbow or the right elbow coming to the jaw or to the throat or to the sternum or to the deltoid or to the bicep. Okay? It automatically puts me into any position I so desire. Okay? Again. Now let's take a look when the knee is employed. Slow motion again. See, the knee is employed here, either down or either up. Notice that sometimes I do it with my right knee. At other times, I will do it with my left knee. Okay. At rare occasions, when I'm at this range, I can kick the bicep on the first motion if it's so desired. The only thing you have to watch on this is if he's a sharp collie man, he will lower that elbow down into your leg. So we prefer to kick down low. We're either with the seepaw on the outside, which is this way, either with the seepaw on the outside, which is this way. Okay? Still zoning away from that other hand that comes in. Okay? Basically, in college, if you learn it on the right side, everything has to be produced on the left side. So what I'd like to show you now are some energy drills. The energy drills are either derived from knife binding or stick binding. We go very slowly. We're going to go into what we call puño sembrado. Not for the purpose of teaching it, but for the purpose of understanding what is being done. Now, nobody is going to be fighting like this. This is an energy drill. At the sound of one click, this click, let's look what's really being happening. I'm busting the knuckles, the head is being hit, and being striked here. But for training, we keep up the motion like this. This is a very basic motion to teach hand trapping and to teach when you put your hand in here for different variations. See? Okay, we're going to do this very slow, not for learning purposes, but to understand where the energy drills derive from and where they come out of it. Okay? Again. Okay, now, at this point, we're going to do that same drill. Okay? With the hand. Okay? Again, slow motion. Overhead, overhead, and upward. Okay? Not that you're going to fight like this, but this is a motion. Notice where all the hidden motion is being used. That's an elbow actually into the crazy bone. See? That could be the claw of the face. That could be the elbow here, and then I strike here. See? But you don't show this because you are getting your coordination. The reason for sensitivity drill is because it's for coordination and sensitivity. Okay. Again, let's take a look at this again. The same motion from this, slow motion again, is going like that. Okay? Notice again. See? Now, sometimes in combat, see, this one is stripped with the leg. Okay? And that's stripped with the leg, and we continue the sensitivity drill here with the overhead. Okay? That's the motion. Okay, now, let's look at some others. In reality, when the punch comes, we would actually hit it with the elbow, enter with the punch, or parry, do a vertical gunting, and strike. Okay? We wouldn't stay out here, but for the purpose of the drill, so we can get a lot of repetition, see, we form the vertical gunting on the outside. This is a drill. It looks like patty cake, and as I said, in reality, you're going to really enter and strike. But for the training purpose, okay, again, this is the vertical gunting. Now, notice that I'm going to go into the inside, and we are switching to our left side. I'm going to slow it down here for the purpose, again, so that you can understand. But in reality, know that you would go in and make the contact. Notice that for the drill, I say here. In combat, I will move into this position here, a little bit closer. But this is your entry motion. Okay, that's vertical gunting. Okay. Again, when they punch again, the other one that you're going to be using now is like the vertical gunting, but it's not. In the event, I parry, I place it, I trap, I parry. Notice again, she's doing the same thing. It looks like the first drill, but subtly, it is not. Now, when I switch, I'll switch again to the inside, slowly. Now, we come to another phase of this now, and we come into the elbow situation. The elbow usually is because when a punch is thrown, okay, and it's caught, and the hand is here, I might elbow. Notice where she picks it up again and picks it up again. Now, what's really happened here? We catch and we destroy the ulnar nerve, which is the crazy bone or the funny bone. Okay? Or we hit the brachial nerve here when we come up. And notice where my hand would hit the eyeball here, and where the elbow would be here, and then we would come in. But for training, we go like this, so that nobody gets hurt. But it's understood what's happening here. See, she knows that I hit rep here. And then when the switching comes, notice in slow motion how we catch and lift. And when it comes to the opposite side, again. See, this is the Seco drill that we are now performing. See? This is the Cook, this is Alsa, this is Tabon, and this is Seco. Okay? Catch, lift, cover, elbow. Catch, lift, cover, elbow. But there are all those different little subtle hits, because you know that's really a hit. Okay? And you pick up the speed, but right now we'll slow it down again so you can see it in slow motion. Notice how we now can flow out to this drill here, that she has to respond according to distance. Okay? Okay, the next drill, notice how I put the elbow in. Okay? There is an elbow position here, that the elbow is in here. This is to teach the body mechanics of twisting, to teach where your tools for striking are going to be employed on your opponent. Okay? Okay, and then we can go back to the overhead again. See, notice where the hidden hits would be. Okay? But this is a sensitivity exercise teaching us where to go. And then when we seek the path, notice it's just coming out very short like this, seeking the path into the opponent. Okay? Then we go back to the punching range, either the vertical gunting, okay, or the placement. Notice when the backhand is being used. Okay? Back over here. And back out again. Just switching and moving out. And back in. Back in again. And now notice we're freelancing it, and we're going all into the different variables of attack. If she were to knee from that position, we continue. Notice that you're looking when the knee comes in, again, check. All the different variables are being used in this particular drill. Okay? Okay, this is a very basic drill. So what I'm going to show you is just a very basic system of progression that you can apply and learn a little bit of what they call the long and short stick method. Okay? So I'm going to start off with a very simple coordination drill. There are 6 counts in it. You make an inward, you make a backhand, you make an inward, then you thrust, you backhand, and you palm up thrust. As I said before, this is not a technique, merely a coordination exercise. 2, 3, thrust, backhand, palm up thrust. I'll repeat again. 1, 2, 3, thrust, backhand, palm up thrust. You make an inward, you make the backhand, you make an inward, you thrust, you backhand, and you palm up thrust. Let's repeat it again. Inward, backhand, inward, thrust, backhand, palm up thrust. Repeat it again. Inward, backhand, inward, thrust, backhand, palm up thrust. Meaning to say that if you hit the person's hand and you hit the head, okay, and you hit the head again, this would go thrust, backhand, and the thrust would be up here. This would be one of the meanings again. So they would actually hit this, they would hit the stick, hit the hand, thrust, backhand, thrust. I'm going to repeat it again. This is one of the meanings that you would have for that particular drill. You would hit the stick hand, you'd hit the dagger, you'd hit the head, and the thrust, and the backhand thrust. So the drill again in slow motion goes inward, backhand, inward, thrust, backhand, palm up thrust. Inward, backhand, inward, thrust, backhand, palm up thrust. This concludes the first drill. The second drill is what they refer to as the 5 count. You do an inward, and you do a backhand, but you thrust, and then you backhand, and you palm up thrust. There are 5 motions again. That is an inward, that's a backhand, that's a thrust, backhand, palm up thrust. I'll repeat again. Inward, backhand, thrust, backhand, palm up thrust. Inward, backhand, thrust, backhand, palm up thrust. Notice there's 5 motions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, the translation of that would be simply this. She would hit my hand on the first motion, hit my head on the second motion, thrust, backhand, palm up thrust. And repeat again. She would hit my hand on the first motion, backhand, the thrust, the backhand will simply be here, and the palm up thrust will be over there. Okay, I'm going to repeat that again. So in essence, that would hit my hand, you would hit the hand, the palm hit would be here, the thrust, the backhand, palm up thrust again. Let's repeat that again, okay? So you would hit the hand on the first motion, okay? The backhand would be here, and the thrust, palm, hit. This could also be translated in this manner, that you would hit the hand on the first motion, you hit the diagram hand on the second motion, the thrust would be here, the backhand would be up here. Okay, I'm going to repeat that again, okay? Right, she would hit the hand on the first motion, hit this on the second motion, thrust, backhand, palm up thrust. I'm going to repeat that one more time so that you see what we're doing. That's 5 counts. That's number 1. The hand would fly, okay? The diagram hand would be hit second, the palm up, and back in. Okay, let's repeat that one more time, okay? There are 5 counts. That's 1, it would hit the stick hand. 2, you would hit the diagram hand. 3, the diagram would come in, backhand, palm up thrust. Okay? That is what we call the 5-count exercise. I'm going to repeat that 2 times so that you can see the motion again. That's 1, that's 2, thrust, backhand, palm up thrust. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Repeat slowly again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is what they call a 5-count exercise. These are not necessarily techniques, but coordination exercise, so you learn how to manipulate your dagger and your stick hand. Okay? We'll go to the next drill. This is often what we call the 4-count exercise. The 4-count exercise is simply, this is an inward, this is a thrust, this is the backhand, and up. Okay, that goes inward, thrust, backhand, palm up thrust. Slow motion again. Inward, thrust, backhand, palm up thrust. Inward, thrust, backhand, palm up thrust. In other words, you would hit the hand, back thrust, backhand, palm up thrust. I'm going to repeat that again, okay? In the first motion, you would automatically hit thrust, backhand, palm up thrust. Repeat again. This is usually used best when the person does not have a diagram of the hand. So you would strike the hand, thrust, backhand, palm up thrust. Okay, I'm going to repeat that one more time. In that exercise, you would hit that hand, thrust, backhand, palm up thrust. Okay, that is called a 4-count. What I'm leaving out right now is a lot of the footwork. For everything that you can do on the upper level, you can also do on the bottom level. Okay, let's repeat that again. If you had that as an exercise, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice that when you make it inward, you move your body sideways so that the left shoulder is facing this way and the palm thrust is up. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now we have the 6-count exercise, we have the 5-count exercise, we have the 4-count exercise. At this point, we're going to what we refer to as the heaven 6 pattern. Now let's try to explain this to you. This is an inward. The low slash is down, the backhand, the thrust, the backhand, and the palm up. Heaven 6 pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Repeat again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, the drill again is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a heaven 6 pattern. Inward, backhand, backhand, inward, backhand, palm up thrust. Slowly again. Inward, backhand with the knife, backhand, thrust, backhand, palm up thrust. Inward, backhand, and so on. Exercise again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is so you learn your coordination, how to manipulate your baton and your stick. Remember, there are various different ranges here. Okay, we are working right now in close quarter and middle range. That means that we can apply dagger. If I was out here, I would not be able to apply my dagger efficiently. I could apply it possibly to the hand, but in here we are striking. Okay, so the first basic that I like to learn is when they strike at angle 1, and the dagger comes at the high line. Notice where the hit is. In reality, we're here, but when I'm training, I'm just going to go here and thrust. Look at that again. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, thrust. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, thrust. Okay. As you do this exercise, and you come over here, notice that you come up and you strike down, striking at this angle here, covering the body. All the time, notice where my stick is, because if they were to strike at number 1 again with the stick, you can slash and take it out here and come back here if the possibility merited. Okay, let's try this one. Look at one more time at this situation. Okay, so again, when the strike is here, okay, you parry with the dagger, you hit with the stick, and you thrust. You can come over the arm at that time and strike, and this is your follow-up pattern. Ready in case they would strike again, if that weapon was not, of course, disarmed. Okay, now again, look at this exercise again. That's 1, left, 2, thrust. You can come over the arm, or you can go on underneath the arm and do the same exercise. Okay, repeat again. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, thrust, underneath the arm, and strike. Again, it can be done 1, 2, 3, 4 over the arm and follows the same pattern. In reality, when the hit is delivered at number 1, you can simultaneously strike and hit and then follow with the strike here. Look at it again, slow motion. 1, 2, 3, 4 and up or over the arm and hitting. If the hand is retracted, and many times in combat, the hand at high line is retracted because of the hit. You follow up automatically with that stroke. Look at it again. If the hand retracts because of the pain here, you come right in here and you follow right into some of the basic patterns or exercises that we did earlier. Okay? Now, if the stick hits at number 1, you have a choice now, if it's delivered low, to come out and stay at this range for the striking. Okay, look at it again. If the strike is here and the bottom low, you can use the stick portion of it and come in. However, sometimes because of the nature you're low, that you have to use your forearm to block the knife, and this is a thrust, and that will be ejected here. Okay, in slow motion one more time. Many times, as I repeated before, as you come here, the forearm takes over and thrusts, and your hit is here. Okay. One more time to bring out a point here. Usually we hit the hand here, and we hit the hand here. So when we come over here, that weapon is eliminated. But let's say he's still holding on the stick. Notice how this still protects my body, and I can still disarm if need be. Okay? Once more. Okay? That if I didn't hurt the man enough, and he didn't drop his weapon, this weapon here is horizontal. Vertical, excuse me. It's vertical over here, so it will still cover the line here for the disarming. Okay? Okay, then there's many situations when my body, I try to strike. This is one of the very basic angles. One more time. I try to strike here. Okay? But many times I might try to curving strike here. But many times I might miss. So now we have to pick this up with the stick. And we go counterclockwise with the slash here. And again we go into the basic pattern here. And repeat it again. Many times I might miss because they might step back, and now my body, my left shoulder is forward, so I have to take the stick here, go around this way, the slashing portion would be here, and I would go right here. The strike here can be on top, okay? It can be on the bottom. I can open it up sometimes crossing it back, coming in any pattern that I so desire by moving in my body in left and right. of the better ways to distract, if you want to get it, so you can set up a kick or a punch, is to just take the roll-up coins like this, and then you can hit. That would be one. Anything can be used. Okay, you can hang on to your keys, such as this, or you can throw it up and then strike. Okay, or kick or punch. Okay. Also, if you're in a neighborhood and you feel there's going to be some problems in the neighborhood, sometimes by rolling up a sack of sand, you just throw it into, just by throwing it up into the face, so you can get a shot in here. Okay, that would be sand, that would be dirt, it could be salt, it could be pepper. Also, if you have sometimes a handkerchief, a weighted handkerchief, you can put maybe 25 cents. This also will snap, or it can go into the face until you get a hit. Or you can hang onto it also by distracting and putting the handle here and being over here. By moving sometimes, by distraction, sometimes you have a good distraction by going this way because it looks like you're going to run away, and then the keys will go that way, then you hit. Okay? If you don't want to lose your keys, then just use the keys itself and then you strike. Okay? These are just some of the ways distraction. Like I said before, it could be sand, it could be salt, it could be pepper. Anything that you can think of. Your wallet, if you have a wallet in the back pocket, you can use a wallet to throw in the face. To set up a kick, set up a punch, to set up an elbow. Let me try to explain about the 3-inch punch. See, most people want the person to fly away. This is contrary to what the 3-inch punch does. Okay, what you want to do is have it penetrate internally into the body. If he flies away, then you can't hit him again. So the purpose of the 3-inch punch is so you have a short range quarter punch. Usually, I'm going to go slow and then build up to it. You notice that how I move my body. Okay, if I put my body like that, see. Now, if you are in a position, that's all you're doing, just levering it back, see? Rather than punching from here, see? You're punching from here. Now, if he moves away, then you can't hit him again. So you don't want him to fly. The flying means that you push the man more. When it penetrates, because you want it to penetrate internally, that's all you're doing, just dropping it like that, see? 3 inches. Okay, now, why? Because if you practice here, when you trap here, you want a close quarter punch about that much only. If you fly away, then you can't hit him again. See? So the object over this is when you trap once, two, it's here, boom, and boom, boom. See? So you land internally. But if he flies away, you can't do the 1-inch punch. In fact, if you fly away, Bruce used to do this on demonstration, but if he flies away, that means it's more of a push. What you want to do again for practicing purposes, okay? First, close the fist, tilt it until you get a little snap to that effect. That is more important right there. That is the basis of the 3-inch punch, not the guy flying away. Okay? Because as I said before, if he flies away, then you have to chase him to hit him again. And again, if you have a system here, you don't need a 3-inch punch, see? Over here is where you want to be able to do it. See the right here? Bang! That, so you can hit him again, and maybe follow up from different ranges. Okay? This is the basis of the 3-inch punch. So let
When the Filipinos first came to the United States, there were many different tribal groups like Visayan, Tagalog, Ilocano, Tausug, people from Mindanao, and they brought their different weapons. So in the Filipino martial arts, there are many different methods and styles, and the choice of weapons is there. A lot of these weapons probably are not used now because of firearms. But like for instance, this is a weapon called a canabas. It's used in the northern Philippines. This definitely has Spanish influence. Sometimes when you use these two together, it's espada daga. It's used in the Visayan region. This is a barong, a training barong. This is used in the southern Philippines. This is a central Philippine weapon. This is a southern. This is a southern, this is a southern, and that could be central or southern. The bows at that time period, during the 18th century, 17th century, were made out of bahi. This would be typical. I doubt now that they use these things now, but this is an antique piece that they used in the Philippines during that time period. The spears over here, these two spears here, and these two spears here are from the northern part of the Philippines, Bontoc, Igorot, or Ifugao tribe. The following two shields are here are from the northern part of the Philippines. These are Igorot shields or Ifugao shields. The shield over here is from the southern part of the Philippines in the Moro sector and Muslim sector, and this is the shield that they use. It's a little bit different. There are so many different groups and different styles in the Filipino martial arts, so it's hard to say what is a pure Filipino martial art because there's just so many different tribes there, and the technology and the interpretation of each art, even the blade they use and the type of stick method they use will be different. One of the other things they use is the blowgun. This thing is usually made out of, nowadays it's made out of metal, but it can be used with hollowed out rattan, or it could be used with hollowed out bamboo. Thank you for watching this videotape, and please watch for upcoming videotapes on my series of the different martial arts and also on the Filipino martial arts series. Okay. I want to thank at this time the following people: Paula Peterson, Jeff Amata, Guru Ted Lakai, and also Steve Nakamura for assisting me in this videotape. Thank you.